Hello and welcome again to the Making Excuses podcast. I'm Julian.
I'm Trevor.
And today we are joined by our special guest, Liam. Now, before we start introducing ourselves and saying, what do we do and everything else, or maybe he's got a YouTube channel or something else, he is related to one of us in the studio.
He is.
And I'm not looking at you, Dog Cam. Dog Cam is the camera on the back of there. You're not related to a dog. No.
Maybe.
But yeah, so we're gonna. So you're not related to a dog. Don't just ignore it.
I was trying to insult Julian then, but anyway.
Okay. So yeah. So we're gonna carry on. So he's related to one of us. If you look into the cameras, maybe people can give people a clue at home. Look into the camera. I'll put people out of misery. You are related to me.
I am.
And we haven't known each other that long, have we?
I think we've known each other around 7 years. Because it was a bizarre thing.
Yes. Yeah.
The introduction.
Yeah. So I've tried telling this to Trevor, and it's a bit of a weird one. So the way I remember it is, I was in my office.
Yeah, with Christian.
On the door. Hello, are you Julian Schofield? It's like, yeah. Normally people get that thing. Is maybe he's going to drop some mail off or something like that. So yeah, I'm Julian Schofield. Is your mum Marilyn?
Yeah.
Is your dad Barry? It's like, yeah. So that's my spider senses tingling, because people at work don't know my parents' names.
I've got one question. What were you actually wearing at the time? Because if you'd have been in some suit or something like that, that would have sounded. I would have been
like a hitman.
Yeah. Oh my word! Yeah.
My father.
Yeah. And here's a syringe.
So
he was in the uniform, right? That's all right.
And I said, yeah, your mum Marilyn, your dad Barry, yes. And then, was your granddad called Arthur by any chance? Yes. And I said, well, good. I said, because your grandfather and my grandmother were first cousins.
Right.
So, but it was so bizarre. He knew all this information.
So what does that make you to
Me
each
and
other?
Julian are third cousins.
So you're third cousins, and you know nothing about each other.
No.
And we could get married, but we're not going to get married. I'm happily married. I'm happily married. So we could get married, but we're not that close.
No.
Right. Okay. So my question to you is, how did you actually find out, and what were you actually looking for someone like Julian to be a family member?
Well,
I know you might regret it, that decision now, but
so I've been researching my family tree for about 8 years.
right.
And I'd been concentrating on my grandma's, paternal grandmother's line.
Yeah.
And then I sort of went on to her father's line, and he had a sister called Charlotte, and then I traced her descendants down
Yeah.
through her son Arthur, Julian's grandfather, and then through his daughter Madeline, I found Julian, his brother, and his sister. And then obviously I noticed the name on the door of the office. Look, it can't be my Julian, that, because I'd obviously worked here for however long before, and I thought, but it can't be mine. That's too much of a coincidence.
Yeah.
So I knocked on the door, asked the question, and lo and behold, there it was.
Oh, so you hadn't actually come specific?
No, I worked in
it
the
was by
building.
Chance.
I'd just been put in the
Yeah,
building.
no. So this, like,
purely by
don't
chance.
you and your coincidences, how things lead to one thing to another.
Things happen for a reason.
He just walked past the door.
Yeah, literally, I'd been put in the building, and I'd been here for a couple of weeks, and I noticed the name, and I kept putting it off, and I thought, no, it can't be Julian, because they were Christian in the office at the time, so I didn't know which one was Julian.
Yeah.
So I sort of addressed the question to both of them, and then Julian said, oh yeah, I'm Julian, and
How random is that?
I was saying that it's such a weird coincidence. But Liam actually knows more about my family than I do. That's
wow.
He's researched the tree, and because you'd said
going back hundreds of years, I've got it back to.
Yeah.
We're all from Kirkheaton.
And this is just through online searches, or have you been to libraries and things?
Ancestry, library, church records.
Wow.
All that style of thing, electoral registers. The Woods. His great-grandmother and my great-grandfather were Woods.
Yeah.
And they're all from Kirkheaton, Moortop, Nab Hill, Dalton, but that general area.
So your calling was meant to be some sort of detective. Clearly, you're in the wrong job. You should have been a detective, because to go back that far and, like you say, and be so tenacious and sorry, pardon the pun, but a dog with a bone, and you've managed to do it.
Yeah, it's just so interesting and fascinating when you research. I mean, when you find extended family members. I mean, I found a fair few people I've got in touch with.
Yeah.
But obviously, I see Julian regularly, so he's the only one I have any degree of contact with. I mean, my grandma's uncle, so he's not related to Julian. He was a First World War veteran. So he was in and out of stores all for shell shock. He got married, had a son, but for 70 years, my grandma's branch of the family had no contact with her cousin Terence, her uncle's son. But I traced him down through electoral registers and I made contact with the family for the first time in over 70 years.
Wow.
And I met his daughter.
Yeah.
And I gave her some photographs of her grandfather, my grandma's uncle.
Yeah.
And so I met her uptown and I cracked all that.
Yeah.
And I traced all her siblings down, her relatives, nieces, nephews and all that.
So if there's any viewers out there that want someone tracking down...
I'll have to start charging.
Oh no,
That's the sad charge.
it's because all this information's there, isn't it? You've got Ancestry and everything else. I know they don't make it easy, do they?
No.
Because the records, there's a thing with the records, isn't it? Is it to do with like the census or something? Is it, or is it?
Yeah.
It's like 10 years behind or something, or is it more than that?
They do the census every 10 years. So the first one was in 1841. And they did one in 1931, but all the records were destroyed in an air raid in Second World War. They didn't do one in 1941 because of war. They couldn't do any records in case Germans invaded.
Yeah.
So there's a 20-year gap. Well, a 30-year gap actually between 1921 and 1951.
Yeah.
There's a 1939 England and Wales register, which is better than a census because it gives people's dates of birth, where the census is done. So like if you go back into Victorian times, you can look at people and there can be such a discrepancy between the ages on a previous census to the next one. It's, there can be like a 5-year discrepancy and you think, well, that's not right. And then if you've got church records, which are different, give a different age, it's...
Well, are the censuses always like 80s and 90s, 2000s? Is it always on the 10s? Is it?
Well, it's every 10 years, so like...
11,
21.
Because I remember one of them. It was really funny. So I can't remember if it was the 80s or 90s. There was like one of the first sort of group of people trying to get sort of motivate, get things, and they're going to put religion. So you said Christian, Jewish, whatever. And then they put Jedi.
Yeah,
as a thing, and actually, so now there's one of the census. Jedi is quite as a popular result because everybody else got behind it. So it's like other and right Jedi, and it was a big drive to do this. So one of the census, but I don't think in the past it was like that, was it? I think it was a proper.
They didn't put religion or anything. So like 1911, you've got the head of the house, usually the man, but if the wife was a widow, she'd be the head of the house. Then the children, their ages, occupations, and then they'd write the address at the bottom, number of rooms, and then they'd sign it, what have you. Then the input, number of live children, number of children deceased,
right?
Not in the marriage, So they don't do that now. I know they don't do that these days.
Because we get we just get like a questionnaire through the thing, but they didn't just go knock on the door and do it. It wasn't relying on people to go around knocking on the door and getting that sort of information. So I find it fascinating.
Honestly, bravo to you for going so far back and finding. I don't know whether or not it was a good pot of gold at the end, finding Julian, but but I'm more fascinated by the fact of how random is it that you might have been. It just goes to show we should all respect one another and get along and everything else, because the people that you're going to be walking past for years
might be related
Oh,
or going to be. You just don't know when or how.
Because normally people are these like looking for the money, are they? Oh, I'm related to the long lost relative of so and so, and hopefully I'm in with some. We're not that family, are we?
I'll tell you a story about that.
Okay.
So, mine and Julian's great grandfather, Joe Wood, was the secretary to the boss of the mill at Broadhead and Graves's at Shop Lane, Kirkhead, and he was a wealthy man. So bear in mind, he used to do like all accounts and things in, we're all in pounds, shillings and pence back in them days. And he could just get 3 fingers and go down and reckon the money up like that. And he ended up living at 222 Halifax Road, Birchincliff, which is one of the last houses on the right hand side just before you get to Outlay Roundabout. And in 1939 register, he had his wife, his sister, his daughter, and 3, well, I presume there were 3 grandchildren living with him, and a housekeeper. The sister died, the wife died, and so there were only him and the housekeeper. Now, my grandma told me that he left his estate to the housekeeper and his children. My great-grandfather, Charles, Julian's great-grandmother, Charlotte, and the other daughter, Emily, didn't get a sniff of any money. And we're talking in 1947, we're talking a good few grand.
Yeah.
But then that's what I got told. I haven't bought a copy of the will, but I've been thinking about buying a copy of the will to see if the family legend is true.
Yeah.
But he's buried in an unmarked grave at St Philip's Church, Birchincliff. So to say we're worth all that money, why ain't there a headstone? Maybe the housekeeper did get it and she...
Just cut him off. Just all right, yeah, I've got your money.
Yeah. No, I'm not paying for the headstone style of thing.
Wow.
So perhaps he is a treasure hunter
Yeah.
after all.
No. So now you're piquing my interest.
Is that why you've got a brand new shovel?
dig in. But it is interesting. But I always think of ancestry and family trees as like an old person's sort of sport. But so what goes?
Generally right, actually. I've encountered many.
No, but what got you into this at such a young age?
Because I used to listen to my grandparents telling stories and all this, I don't know, my extended family, elder family members, but I also got caught up in the whole "who do you think you are" series. I was fascinated by that, and then I did my work experience at the library in town, and part of that we're working in the local history library,
Right.
where you can access records, ancestry, and all things such as that, and that's how I sort of got into that.
Because I do like the way, because you don't just rely on guesswork. I think I know some people doing the family trees. Oh, I'm related to so and so and so and so. And I think it's that person. But when you were looking at people's names, there's like there'd be like a lot of Tom Smiths or whatever, and you actually go through the records, look at the birth certificates, look at, and it's like that is the Tom Smith I'm talking about, not that person. So he does go to that sort of level of detail.
Yeah.
Which that's, like I say, it's impressive. And if you were looking for an ancestry thing, that's the way I'd do it.
You do realise now after this, viewers, when they go to work, they're going to be looking at people's name badges and names on the doors and looking for links now. You might have started something here, you never know, a new trend. Either that or there's going to be a whole host of people buying metal detectors, hunting for treasure. But I bet it was disappointing to find out that Julian wasn't rich.
Hey, leave it time, yeah, I've still got time. Time.
Yet.
I won't earn it, I'll inherit it. That's fine. I'll do it the easy way.
I find it more fascinating the fact that you were just
just a pure coincidence.
It's just purely random.
By chance.
Fantastic that.
So, say we were going to try and investigate Trevor. I was going to do this before he came in, but I didn't want to put you on the spot. But say Trevor was looking for his family tree. I know when I was doing my family, or when you were looking at my family tree, my cousin Michelle, she'd already done some. She'd already done. Samantha. She'd already done a lot of the research before. So on Ancestry, if Trevor was going to start, he doesn't have to start at the bottom, does he? Is it hopefully?
Well, I mean,
if you give us some tips. Give us some tips.
Well, you start with yourself. Look for your mother's. Obviously, you know your mother's maiden name, I presume. Mm-hmm. Then you put your mum and dad in their marriage. Then your grandparents, your grandmother's maiden name.
Yeah.
Then you look for her birth record, so you obviously find her maiden name, and then your great grandma's maiden name. You just keep going back through that.
So go as far back as your knowledge goes, and start from there, so that saves some research. Then
before 1837, there's no civil records.
Right.
It's all church.
Yeah.
And then, and even until 1875, you didn't have to report.
Yeah.
A birth. The registrar came to you. We'd go around knocking on doors.
Yeah.
And then the vicar might not be particularly obliging, you might not want to give records over to the state and stuff like that. So
yeah.
And then, but after 1875, it were all done. the onus was on you to report births, marriages and deaths.
How many hours would you say it's taken you to research all that?
Oh, I never
A lot.
count, but a lot of hours.
Yeah. So if I pull a Scott Binns excuse and I'm missing from the next sort of 10, 20 podcasts, I am researching my family tree.
Yeah.
Is that
No, I'm
right?
saying you've gone to churches and it's gone to get to records, haven't you?
Yeah, I've gone to churches, I've contacted vicars. Some of them are helpful, some of them are not.
Yeah.
I mean, or if they don't have the records anymore, I went to Wakefield, to West Yorkshire Archive Service. I mean, some of my relatives lived over in Sheffield on my mum's side, so I'd have to go to Sheffield Archives, or they'd look for me, and I'd obviously have to pay for it.
Yeah. It's fascinating because, like, this is the era now that you've been able to use these records and online and churches and everything else to work your way back. I'm just thinking ahead now, fast forward into the future 100 years, it would completely change how you would try and find your family. You'd be searching social media and
there'll be less involvement with religion.
Yeah.
So there'll be less church records because there's fewer people getting christened and things like that. I mean, I was christened.
Yeah.
But
I wasn't, actually, funnily enough. My mum never got round to it.
cousins. My mum's older sister's children, they were all christened, but all the rest of my cousins. I don't think they were christened, but, so that, like I say, you church records will be at a minimum in future.
Be completely different. Yeah.
That's the tagging in Facebook would help, because I know some of the photographs. It comes. Do you know this person? Because it's like a random person, and he knows it's a family member. And we just don't know who it is. Yeah. So you're going around to living relatives saying, "Can you tell me who this is?" But obviously, modern tags now will say this is tagging this person. You know exactly who it is.
I've got a photograph at home. I showed it to Julian. It's an old sepia photograph. So early to mid 1920s, of an old woman in her 70s holding a baby. I wondered, was it our ancestor holding Arthur, Julian's grandfather?
It's actually talking to living relatives, which is a good source. Yeah. So don't just do it by records. You'll be able to say, Tom Smith. I'm going to use Tom Smith again. Hi, Tom Smith, if you're watching. But you'll say Tom Smith and he lived in Doncaster, say. Yeah. And then that narrows your search down, doesn't it? Otherwise, if you say Tom Smith, it's like, how many Tom Smiths are there in the census? And it's like, I ain't got a clue. If you haven't got an area, and he's just getting all that information from a living relative. So if you wanted to, because you interviewed my mum, didn't you? To chat with her, because the knowledge that she had.
Did she know she was going to get this call, or she didn't?
No.
She wasn't getting suspicions of you waiting to ask for bank details or something.
No, I was on the call. I was on the call as well. So
But she knew who my grandma had married, and all my grandma's siblings up, and all the older ones. Yeah, she didn't know my dad, for instance. But she knew my dad's oldest cousin. She remembered that he was very interested in nature and natural world, and that would he turned 78 on Saturday, funnily. Yeah. But he's the oldest surviving cousin now. But yeah, she recalled everything. It made me laugh really, and I told my granddad this. So my great grandfather was a great uncle, and she said every Christmas Day she had to go to his house and play Christine's Awake on the recorder. And she knew how my great-grandmother used to make fireworks. And all such. And my granddad said, oh yeah, she did used to make fireworks, his mother-in-law. She did used to make fireworks, and she used to get paid a pittance for it. But she used to make fireworks for, I don't know, the event, but she did. Oh yeah, but Madeline, she remembered a lot of the stuff what I didn't know. But my granddad did when I told him.
Imagine back then with the health and safety, or like smoking a cigarette in the ashtray whilst they're there making the fireworks or something.
Well, Huddersfield does have a big.
It does actually have a history of fireworks.
Standard fireworks.
And Black Cat.
Well, that's the coming to the end of our podcast. Yeah, we've had so we blitzed through that. It's
fascinating.
It's like I say, it's just the surface. You find out your family tree. But like I say, I'd probably encourage people if they do want to get into family trees and they start doing it now. Well, while your parents are over it.
Family's still going.
Yeah. I mean, Julian only had to enter a YouTube competition to find a brother from another mother. So you never know.
It's such a small world. I might say. But thanks for watching. And goodbye.
I've enjoyed this one, Julian, and good to have you on. Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Bye for now.
Bye for now.